Onur, we heard from President Erdogan earlier today. Tell us some of your takeaways from his speech and how it's being received there.
Well, President Erdogan's speech today in an eastern province in Turkey was mainly intended for a more local audience, but he spared a few minutes of his to talk about the market turmoil, so to speak. Although some of the investors that traders we've been speaking with have been looking for clues of some structural reforms or maybe a breakthrough in the spat with the US, none of that really seems to have materialized. President Erdogan's first and foremost warning to people who were listening to him was that he urged them to reach out under their mattress and bring out the FX and gold savings and sell them for liras. This wasn't just to put things into perspective. This wasn't the first time Erdogan has done it. The president has previously done the same warning to Turks at times of lira weakness. This is sort of one of the first things that he urges Turkish nation to do at times of economic stress, and in that sense today was no exception. And in addition to that, he also said that Turkey is facing an economic warfare and that Turkey would not surrender to what he calls our interest rate lobbies.
And yet, obviously, none of that is reassuring the international audience, as we see from the action in the lira. Then you have President Trump on top of that, authorizing this doubling of tariffs on steel and aluminum. Just to put this in perspective, the International Trade Administration, under the Commerce Department here, putting out its latest numbers, that 10.7% of Turkish steel is destined for the U.S., exports destined for the U.S. So what kind of economic effect could this potentially have?
Well, the first and most immediate impact could be seen on the lira. As you said, the lira was already performing quite poorly because of the political tension and other issues that came to the forefront over the past week. But surely President Trump's tweets had an impact on the Turkish currency. But obviously this is not the impact that we're going to see. As you said, a significant part of Turkish steel exports are destined for the US. So for a country like Turkey, whose one of the main vulnerabilities, so to speak, is foreign trade imbalance, added tariffs by the US on Turkish steel and aluminium exports is definitely not good news and is likely to weigh on trade deficit going forward. But just to put things into perspective, Turkish lira has been weakening quite rapidly over the past few months. So it has already it has already been narrowing Turkish trade deficit to a certain extent. Surely the US punitive action, so to speak, is going to take away a little bit of that. But yeah, still there is going to be some damage to the Turkish economy.